It's time to look at some cool new hardware. The Mod Retro Chromatic. This arrived just today. So the Chromatic by Mod Retro was announced in the middle of this year, about 6 months ago. It's now the middle of December and it arrived today. I pre-ordered this as soon as I could after it was announced because I thought it was an extremely good idea. So the Chromatic is a new Game Boy with the FPGA emulation or whatever it's called. I don't know all the technical details, but it's basically a modern Game Boy with new internals, and the thing I like most about it is it has a brand new custom designed screen to look as close as possible to the original Game Boy Color, with like the color temperature and the resolution and the pixel density and all that sort of stuff. So it's kind of like the Analog Pocket, which came out a few years ago, but going for a more authentic sort of thing. I thought the Pocket was cool, but I didn't buy one because I didn't like that they added extra face buttons and just a few other things, like they added the shoulder buttons for Game Boy Advance, and the Pocket wasn't really what I wanted, but this is exactly. So we're going to have a look. Obviously I haven't opened this yet. And so as you can see there on the back, there were a bunch of different colours you can get, but I got the grey one. And it also comes with a brand new version of Tetris for the Game Boy, so that'll be interesting to check out. Let's have a look in here. There it is, all nice and grey with some cool artwork inside here. That's really cool, all hand drawn. The hardware itself, it's kind of thick, thicker than a normal Game Boy, but it's got what does it say on the back here? A magnesium alloy shell, so it's not plastic. It's got a very premium feel with the buttons. The buttons feel really good. It's got a sapphire screen. It's on the back here. It's all very smooth. Cartridge slot. There's the connector for connecting to other Game Boys and accessories. That's amazing. One thing that I think is a really good idea is it doesn't have an integrated... I'm going to need more batteries. It doesn't have an integrated lithium-ion battery, which I think is really good, because if you want this to last 30 years or more like the original Game Boys have, you don't want a lithium battery that's going to die. So it takes AA batteries. I thought it took 2, but it takes 3. I'll have to get another one. That's extremely good so far. I really like the shade of grey that they made it as well. But I will be back with more batteries. Okay, the batteries are in. I'm going to have a look in here to see what else is in the box. Oh, I should have looked. It comes with 3 batteries. And there is the new Tetris. I don't know exactly who developed this new Tetris, but a new version of Tetris for the Chromatic. It will also work on a Game Boy, and it's officially licensed, and it's got marks on the bottom, so they've tested it. First I want to compare it to some other Game Boys. This is my Game Boy Pocket from when I was a kid. Unfortunately the screen on it has gone bad. Don't really know why, but some pockets seem to do that. So it's a bit bigger than the pocket in how tall it is. It's quite a bit thicker. The screen seems to be about the same size. And then the Game Boy Color, I never actually had one as a kid. This is one I bought a few years ago just for the collection. Seems to be almost exactly the same size as the Color. And one thing I didn't like about the Color back in the day was the screen on it is a tiny bit smaller than the one on the Pocket, but it looks like the chromatic screen might be slightly bigger, but I could be wrong. But yeah, same size, same button layout. Start and select buttons are bigger. It's probably similar in thickness to the Color. We'll have a look at this now. We'll put in Tetris. And I'll turn it on for the first time. Okay, right into it. Should have put in a name. Volume down a bit. Marathon mode. So it looks kind of similar to the original Game Boy Tetris, except they've added features like instant drop and hold. Okay, select as hold. Okay, that seems like it's really good, and just the first impression on this screen quality is pretty amazing. It's kind of hard to tell from the video, but in person it looks incredibly good. Like, the best Game Boy screen you'll ever look at. That's probably enough of Tetris. So the battery went flat on the camera. I've just rearranged things so we can better see the screen. So I've got Zelda Oracle of Ages now. You can see how good this screen is. It's incredible. It's just so sharp, and it just looks perfect. The clarity, it doesn't look fake because of wrong resolution that it's trying to do. It's like the right resolution and the right pixel density and everything, and the colors. It's the best looking Game Boy screen I've ever seen. I'm extremely impressed by this thing. It'd be interesting to compare it side by side with an analog pocket. I've got a friend with one, so I'll have to meet up at some point. So that's that as a good example. So here's Wario Land 2. This game I got for my 11th birthday. I haven't played it in a very long time. I remember I got up to this battle and I was never able to finish it. But it's just amazing how sharp and clear everything is on this screen. And the responsiveness, there's no motion blur or anything. It's so good. The next thing I want to look at is Donkey Kong Country for Game Boy Color. This is a weird one because it's a port of the Super NES game to Game Boy Color. Played some of it a year or so ago. Which one did I do? Certainly looks very vibrant on here. When I played this a while back, I was playing it on the Game Boy player on the GameCube. And it was pretty good. And that was good. Now the last thing I want to do is connect it to the Game Boy camera and print something with it. I mostly just want to make sure it works with accessories properly. I've got the printer here. And I already took a photo of well, the inside of this box. Print and turn on the printer. Okay, something's not right. Okay, I think I just had to turn the printer off and on again. I didn't like it for some reason. And this camera doesn't like focusing, but there we go, we've got a little print of the chromatic. That's a nice way to end the video, I think. So I'm extremely impressed with the chromatic. It was expensive and it was several months waiting for it, but this thing is seriously amazing. It's even better than I thought it was going to be, and it got extremely good reviews from like Nintendo World Report and other places. But wow, this thing is totally worth it. It makes, like, because you can actually see the screen so well, you actually want to go and play these old games again now. But yeah, it's, I can't say how good this thing is. It's just so good.